Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing great. Today we are going to discuss about the difference between minimum fuel and mayday fuel. When a pilot declares that he is on mayday and when a pilot declares that he has minimum fuel. So you will be uh, able to understand after this video what's the main difference between mayday and minimum fuel. So first thing first, we will talk about mayday fuel first. What is mayday fuel? But before that, we will talk how much fuel a jet aircraft carries with him, right? a, a jet aircraft carries, let's say he is departing from a airport called Alpha to the Bravo, right? And let's take a Charlie airport, which is a alternate airport, right? So every jet aircraft carries trip fuel from Alpha to Bravo, from Alpha to Bravo, then alternate fuel to its alternate airport, and then 30 minutes of holding fuel over alternate airport. So Charlie is the alternate airport, so 30 minutes of holding fuel over Charlie alternate airport at specifically 1500 feet above ground level, right? Because the fuel consumption at lower levels is higher than higher altitudes, right? Plus after this 5% of trip fuel as a contingency fuel. We are taking some figures, like from Alpha to Bravo. Let's say your aircraft burns 3000 fuel, 3000 kg, correction, 3000 kgs, right? Normally Airbus A320 during cruise burns almost 2400 kg of fuel during cruise, but we are calculating takeoff and landing phase and everything. Rough figures are, for in a 1 hour flight, aircraft burns 3000 kg of fuel. Then alternate fuel to Charlie, let's say aircraft burns another 1500 kgs, right, for its alternate fuel, alternate airport, to the alternate airport. Let's say the distance between Alpha to Bravo to Charlie is half hour, so we are taking 1500 kg. Then 30 minutes of holding fuel over Charlie, so it is again 1500 kg of holding fuel, 1500 kg of holding fuel. After that, aircrafts need to carry 5% of the trip fuel, 5% of the trip fuel as a contingency fuel to compensate with the headwinds and some other factors. So let's take 5% of 3000. It will be around 150, if I'm not wrong, 150 kg, right? 150 kg as a contingency fuel of 5% of trip fuel. Keep it in mind, it's not 5% of all fuel, but trip fuel. Trip fuel is from Alpha to Bravo only, right? So if we calculate and add all figures, then 3000 kg trip fuel plus alternate fuel of 1500 kg, then holding fuel over alternate aerodrome at 1500 feet above ground level. Let's say aircraft burns again 1500 kg, and then we will take 150 kg as a contingency fuel, right? So the sum will be around 6150 kg. This is the fuel every aircraft, this aircraft and this route should have in its tank. This is the minimum fuel according to regulations a jet aircraft should have in its tank, right? Okay, when it is considered a mayday fuel, a question starts from here. when it is considered that now your aircraft is on mayday fuel. Whenever you land at any airport with fuel less than the holding fuel over alternate aerodrome, it was 1500 kg. Whenever your aircraft with lands with less than this fuel in your tanks, then it is considered as a mayday fuel. The term is that the final reserve fuel is less than it. Okay. So what is mayday fuel? When the calculated usable fuel predicted to be available upon landing at the nearest aerodrome where a safe landing can be made is less than the planned reserved fuel. These are some there are some alien terms in it, but we will discuss about final reserve fuel a aircraft should have, a jet aircraft should have in its tank. What is final reserve fuel? So final reserve fuel is the minimum fuel required to fly for 30 minutes at 1500 feet above the alternate aerodrome. This is the same fuel we talked about here at Charlie, 1500 kg fuel for 30 minutes of holding over Charlie. Whenever your aircraft lands at any airport and it has your aircraft has consumed this fuel, then it is considered as a mayday fuel. Right now, I hope I tried to make it simple for you. Okay, the pilot in command shall declares a situation of fuel emergency by broadcasting mayday, mayday, mayday fuel when the calculated usable fuel estimated to be available upon landing at the nearest aerodrome where a safe landing can be made is less than the planned final reserve fuel. Planned final reserve fuel. What is planned final reserve fuel? We have talked about, right? Correct. Then the other another term comes, which is minimum fuel. What is now minimum fuels? Okay, we'll try to simplify it. Whenever your pilot thinks or calculates that now any further diversion or any further delay in the existing flight plan will you know cause you to use final reserve fuel. Are you getting it? Whenever you as a pilot feel or calculates that your if you do any changes from the existing flight plan or the routing, then you are gonna use your final reserve fuel. So then it is considered a minimum fuel to the ATC. And ATC will not give you ATC delays further, so that you do not go on mayday fuel while landing, right? So ATC will try to give you clearance as early as possible and no further delays. Let's say you were traveling from Alpha to Bravo and you diverted to Charlie, right? If you will hold over Charlie, then you will be on minimum fuels. If you are taking fuel just to the point, right? So ATC will not give you delays and will try to land you as soon as possible, so that you should not you do not declare mayday fuel, right? So according to the explanation, the pilot in command shall advise ATC of a minimum fuel state by declaring minimum fuel this phase when having committed to land at the specific aerodrome by the pilot calculates that any changes to the existing clearance to that aerodrome or other air traffic delays may result in landing with less than the planned final reserve fuel. Right now your aircraft is not uh, is in mayday situation, but any further delays will cause your aircraft to go in mayday fuel, right? I hope I was able to make it clear for you. And I'm gonna write here jet how much fuel a jet aircraft carries. Let's say it's IFR flight, then fuel to destination. Just a second. fuel to destination plus fuel to alternate, then 30 minutes of holding fuel at alternate at 1500 feet plus 5% of trip fuel for contingency, right? So this is the fuel for IFR flight. I should write it here. Jet aircraft in IFR conditions. Now we will talk about VFR conditions, right? For jet aircraft only, jet aircraft VFR conditions. When alternate is not required, it's a VFR flight, and let's say you are not planning for alternate aerodrome, then fuel to destination plus 30 minutes of holding fuel, right? Same at 1500 feet, right? At 1500 feet, correct. So this is for VFR flights. Now there is one more thing. When alternate is not available, let's say it's an isolated aerodrome, there are no alternate possible near this aerodrome, so how much fuel a jet aircraft should carry with it? So another case is alternate is not available. Fuel to destination, right? Minimum, this is the fuel you should carry, otherwise you should not depart. I would suggest you, right? Destination, then 2 hours of fuel at normal consumption, right? So this is the fuel you should carry. You can take a screenshot or whatever, right? These are this is the table for turbojet aircraft for fuel planning, right? I hope I was able to make you understand the difference between minimum and mayday fuel. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.